Christmas movies are a staple of the holidays, and a lot of people have their favorites, whether it be a Christmas story that plays on an endless loop on TV around this time of year, How the Grinch Stole Christmas starring Jim Carrey. Elf has become a classic at this point, but there is one movie that really just stands out to me and remains one of my favorites ever since the first time I saw it, and I watch it every year. Let's talk about 2015's Krampus. So Krampus, directed by Michael Daughtry. Daughtry? Let me go ahead and get this out of the way up front. I know it's probably not pronounced Krampus. It's probably Krampus or something like that.
Krampus.
But I'm an ignorant dude from West Virginia. I'm going to say Krampus. So if you can't get past that, you're just going to have to turn off the video because I want to be saying it probably at least like 3 more times. But if you can't get past it, I welcome you to join me for this ride. But real quick, to keep it spoiler free, a basic plot summary for the movie Krampus, directed by Michael Daughtry. Daughtry? I want to say Daughtry. That's what my notes say, and there's an R in there. This is the same guy who directed Trick or Treat, by the way. So if you're a fan of that with Sam, this is his holiday movie, and it's so good. Anyway, it's about a boy who he kind of loses his Christmas spirit, and instead of Santa coming to give gifts and different things like that, he attracts Krampus, which is the shadow of Saint Nicholas, is how they phrase it in this movie several times. And let me tell you, he is not nearly as jolly. Well, maybe in his own way. So in case you don't know, Krampus is the opposite of Santa, basically. And by that I mean where Santa rewards good children with gifts, Krampus will punish the bad children. He's known to have fur and horns and kind of look like a goat. He's from Alpine folklore, so like Germany and stuff like that, which makes sense to me for some reason. And he's been known to like beat kids with sticks, and he'll have chains and he'll whip them, and sometimes he'll even stuff them in a sack and drag them to the underworld. So yeah, he's a pretty good motivator for kids to be good throughout the year if getting gifts, if they're good, wasn't quite cutting it. Honestly, let's bring Krampus back. Let's do this. I'm telling my kids about Krampus. Anyway, back to the movie. So if it sounds good to you and you don't want spoilers, I highly recommend you go check out this movie yourself. I think it's a super fun time. It's a perfect blend of the Christmas feels, like it genuinely is, like it's a good Christmas movie, as well as comedy and horror, and it's just a fun ride. So if you haven't seen it and you don't want spoilers, go watch it now. Thanks for checking out the video anyway. Come back here when you're done. If you have seen the movie already, or if you don't care about spoilers, welcome. So, our tale begins with Max. Actually, let me backtrack a little bit. I know I'm backtracking immediately as soon as we get into the story, but our tale begins with Black Friday shopping. So, I guess it's not technically Black Friday because it's just a few days until Christmas, but they kind of make it feel like it's Black Friday because we open up with a store with a stampede of customers coming in, and they are going wild. These shoppers are going nuts. There's a security guard that's having a little too much fun trying to control the crowd, if you can even call it that. They're just straight up tasing people. And our main character, Max, is getting in a fight at the manger scene at the mall with another boy who apparently was telling little kids that Santa doesn't exist, and just kind of ruining the holiday experience for them. He's sticking up for the little guy. He gets drugged home. He gets in trouble. His parents are just kind of frantically getting ready for the holidays. His mom goes to hang up a family photo they got with Santa, who he's straight up a pedophile. And this one, like, can I say that on YouTube? I can't say that on YouTube. He's this Santa is, let's just say, he's on his own kind of list that's related to an island and not a naughty or nice list. But he's definitely naughty. That girl's like 16. Anyway, Max is desperately just wanting to feel the holiday spirit as he has in the past. He's wanting to watch Charlie Brown with his family, but they're not wanting to, especially since he got in a fight earlier this day. However, his grandma, Omi, is they're very close together, she and Max are, and she kind of lets him have a little bit of a cookie, and she's trying to bring his spirits up a little bit. Right around this time is when the extended family comes over to stay. They are a bit redneck, I will say. I will say that lovingly, by the way. So they're all getting ready for this Christmas dinner that the mom has prepared, which for some reason is several days before Christmas. I don't understand it, but that's what they're doing. Is that something that's normal? Because I've always had my Christmas dinners or Christmas breakfasts in some case on Christmas. I can maybe even see Christmas Eve. But like there's a couple times in this movie where they show multiple days passing. Why are they having Christmas dinner days before Christmas? Anyway, our main cast of characters include Max, played by MJ Anthony, Tom, played by Adam Scott, who is Max's dad, Sarah, Max's mom, played by Toni Collette, and Beth, Max's sister, played by Stephania Levy Owen. And then the extended family is Howard, the father of the family, played by David Koechner, which I actually met once. And let me tell you, extremely nice guy. A little bit of a side tangent here. We were going to the Huntington Comic Con a few years ago, and he just happened to be there, and I happened to be walking by. I didn't even know he was going to be a guest there, and there was no one in his line to go meet him for some reason. Like this pillar in modern comedy, and no one's in line to meet him. This is also the first time I've ever met a celebrity, and I'm very nervous, but like I've got to go say something. So I walk up to him, and he seems pretty happy to see me, that someone's come out to say hi. I'm just like, hey, I love your work. You do amazing. And in the moment, I can't think of a single thing he's done. Yes, he's done all kinds of things, like Anchorman and Krampus being one of my favorite movies, and so many other things, but I'm just completely blanking at the time. And so I'm just like, I love your work, you're awesome. And he's like, thank you. He's super kind. He's super sweet. And I say something that he probably gets so tired of hearing, and it's that he's taller in person. He is a very tall man, but like, oh, I'm cringing right now just thinking about how that was one of the only things I said to him. And then I realized in the moment what I had just done, because he said something like, yeah, I hear that a lot. And I'm like panicking. I'm like, I got to get out of here. I'm taking up too much of this man's time. And I think he actually wanted to stay, for me to stay and like chat, because again, no one else was there. But I kind of just like, all right, thanks. It was awesome meeting you, and kind of just get out of there because I'm just like so nervous and ruining the whole situation. Anyway, he was a super sweet guy at the time. I would love to meet him again at some point and just kind of, I don't know. I would say apologize, but maybe he forgot it even happened and I don't need to apologize. Anyway, David, if you are watching this by some chance, you're rad, dude, and you're tall in person. I'm doing it again. Stupid. Back to the story. Actually, back to me listing off the characters real quick. Linda, Howard's wife, is played by Allison Tolman. Howie Jr. is their son. He's played by Maverick Fleck. They have two daughters named Stevie and Jordan, played by Lola Owen and Queenie Samuel, along with baby Chrissy, played by Sage Hunfield. Then, of course, there comes Aunt Dorothy, who played Bertha in 2.5 Men, which is a show I watched quite a bit as a kid, and I don't think I should have. That show is very inappropriate and, like, not very good. I did watch quite a lot of it. She played one of my favorite characters. Oh, the actress's name? Conchetta Ferrell. I may have mispronounced a few of these names. For that, I apologize. Again, redneck, hillbilly, ignorant guy from West Virginia here. I'm trying my best. Anyway, while they're having their extremely early Christmas dinner, the girls, Stevie and Jordan, are kind of making fun of Max, and they find his Christmas letter to Santa and they read it out loud. And it kind of has a lot of stuff like, "Oh, I wish my mom and dad would love each other more. I wish the holidays were like they used to be." And they keep reading, and at one point they're like, "Hey, Dad does not wish we were boys." And he gets really mad, just kind of storms off, very embarrassed. He snatches his letter back, and his dad, Tom, goes back up to his room to kind of try to make him feel better. But to be honest with you, he does a really crappy job at it. So after Tom leaves Max alone in his room, he is still feeling very emotional. He tears up his letter to Santa and throws it outside, where it gets caught in the wind and swirls up into the sky. And then it is followed by a blizzard the next day. And they are trapped in the house, surrounded by creepy snowmen. Because that letter did not make it to Santa. It made it to Krampus. So they're all pretty surprised about the amount of snow because nobody was expecting this. But then the delivery guy comes and brings some packages along with a giant mystery sack of toys. However, he says that he didn't bring those. It must have been the boys in brown, quote unquote. Anyway, they sign for it and they bring everything inside. Beth wants to go walk over to her Christmas bong smoking boyfriend Derek's house and hang out with him for Christmas and maybe even bring him over. At first, the parents are like, "No, in this weather," but she kind of convinces them to. And this kind of leads into my favorite scene of the movie. Seriously, this is awesome. While Beth is walking down the completely deserted, snow-covered street in this nice little suburb, we get our first glance at Krampus. And this monster is huge. He is on top of the roof and he starts chasing her, and like it's genuinely terrifying watching him leap from building to building. He's taking like 2 or 3 steps to clear a whole rooftop and then just jumping. Or she finds the delivery truck and starts banging on the window trying to get help from the delivery driver. He's dead. So she ends up hiding underneath a vehicle, and then we see Krampus's feet land right in front of her. And they're goat hooves, because of course they are. So he's stepping along and acts like he doesn't really see her. She's kind of starting to think that maybe she's in the clear, but that's when she sees a little jack-in-the-box. And it starts winding. Well, we don't actually see what comes out of the jack-in-the-box yet, but Beth screams and we cut back to the house, and it is surrounded by even more creepy snowmen. We also find that even though the power is out and everything, which I forgot to mention that earlier, but it is out, Max's mom and dad are getting a little bit closer, similar to how the letter asked. However, they are getting concerned that Beth isn't home yet, especially since the storm seems to be getting worse. So Tom and Howard go out to try to find her. Tom's basically got a vehicle that can make it through any type of weather, is how he kind of phrases it, but better and way more clever than what I just did. So they go out, they're looking for Beth, and while they're out, they end up finding a snowplow that has its windshield broken and nobody's inside. Howard thinks that the guy may have wrecked and flown through the windshield. However, Tom points out that the windshield actually looks like it's been broken in 2 because the glass is broken inward, not outward. Suspicious. At this, Howard gets out his guns. He hands one to Tom, and he's clearly uncomfortable with the gun, but they're ready to find Tom's daughter and get her to safety as soon as possible. They do go into Derek's house looking for Beth. However, it seems completely abandoned. There is a gingerbread man stabbed onto the fridge, though. They're kind of checking that out until they see the completely destroyed chimney, kind of signifying Krampus's entry, which is super rad that he also comes through the chimney like Saint Nick. I love the parallels in this movie. There's so many. They're so good. I'm sorry, I'm gushing. Anyway, they think they hear Beth screaming outside, so they run out there to see if they can find her. However, they can't figure out where it's coming from. But Something's in the snow. It's kind of like a little frosty graboid from Tremors. You don't actually get a good look at it though, but it is running around in the snow, and it starts to drag Howard underneath the snow. However, Tom ends up saving him, but by the time they get back to Howard's truck, it is completely destroyed. Meanwhile, back at the house, Omi is desperately trying to keep this fire burning as hot as she can, but she kind of has a good idea what's going on here. That's when Tom and Howard get back home, and they know that they're all in danger, and they're trying to prepare the family the best they can without causing a panic. They ask Aunt Dorothy to take the kids into the other room while they try to figure out a plan here, and she does. She's like, all right, kids, come on, it's time to go teach you how to make peppermint schnapps. And finally enough, she actually does teach them, and she lets Howie Jr. have a little sip of the schnapps. And this little scene of Howie taking a sip of the alcohol almost got the movie an R rating. Like, that's what they were most worried about for this movie getting an R rating. There's a lot worse things that ends up happening in this movie, but that's what ends up, that's what got their panties in a bunch, apparently. You'll see more things as I go on, but like, it's just crazy that out of all things, almost got this movie an R rating. So they end up boarding the doors and the windows and decide to hold up there till they figure out what else they can do. And they need to figure out how they're going to save Beth and get her back. But right now, they have all these other kids, and they're just going to try to hold down that fort. Howard agrees to take watch for the night, and Omi is very insistent about keeping the fire hot. Well, Howard falls asleep and the fire almost goes out. Everyone is asleep in the room when this big meat hook comes down from the chimney, and it's got a little gingerbread man on it. Real quick side tangent. I love a lot of the practical designs in this movie. Like, a lot of the creature designs are fantastic. A lot of the practical effects are fantastic. I kind of hate these gingerbread men. They're very CGI looking. And it kind of, like, compared to everything else, just looks bad. Even though they're played by Seth Green and Justin Roiland, oddly, their voices are pitched up to where they just kind of sound like chipmunks. You can't really understand what they're saying super well, and they're just kind of annoying. Like, I kind of get why they put them in the movie, because they are a little fun, but it just kind of feels like you threw the minions from Despicable Me into the movie, and I don't know, I just don't care for it. I just don't care for it. But regardless, everything else in the movie is really, really great. Maybe that's just me. Maybe people love the gingerbread men. Maybe I'm being a Scrooge or a Grinch, but whatever. Back to the story. So they end up luring Howie Jr. to come over to the chimney, and he goes for the cookie like a fish to a worm. They end up hooking him up and trying to yank him through the ceiling, and this is when everyone else wakes up. They're trying to save Howie Jr. Sarah's like up in the chimney with them. Somebody's pulling Sarah's legs, and that's when Sarah sees the gingerbread men there, and he kind of scares her, and she lets go, and Howie's gone up into the chimney. Howard at this point is pissed, but Omi ends up telling everyone what's going down here. And that's when it cuts to a super awesomely animated flashback of Omi's encounter with Krampus. She had basically lost her Christmas spirit as well, and Krampus came to her house, took her parents, and left her with this little bell. It's kind of like a symbol of what happens when hope dies. Anyway, Howard thinks this is bullcrap, and he goes out to try to find Howie Jr., and Tom's like, no, Howard, you can't go out there. We got all these other kids to think about. We gotta stay here and protect them. And then Howard points a fucking gun at Tom, and he goes outside, but when he goes out there, he sees dozens and dozens of more creepy snowmen just surrounding the house completely. And he gets kind of convinced by the family, like, maybe I'll stay in. Maybe I don't go out there. So a little bit later, the girls, Stevie and Jordan, they have to go to the bathroom. And on their way there, they think they hear Beth from the attic. So they go to investigate. Spoiler alert, it's not Beth. Doesn't even really sound like her that much. But when they go to the attic, the parents downstairs hear them scream. They go to investigate, and that's when we are introduced to the toys. Especially my boy, Jack in the Box. I love this design. This is one of my favorite designs in any horror movie ever. Any movie ever. He's like a big porcelain looking Jack-in-the-Box thing, but he's got like this monstrous mouth and he's in the middle of eating Jordan, and like it's just wild. It's like a giant evil clown snake eating a rat, and oh, it's just so good. It's just such a good design. Anyway, amongst the other toys, we have this creepy angel, this horrifying teddy bear, an evil toy robot, and the CGI cookies. There's also actually a little nutcracker guy that we see a couple glimpses of in the movie, but he's never really focused on, and I think the only 2 glimpses are like seconds long. I just thought I'd throw that in there because the design's pretty cool. Anyway, everyone's fighting these toys. Like Sarah's getting attacked by the angel, Tom's getting stabbed by the toy robot, Howard's fighting the gingerbread men with a nail gun, and he ends up getting saved by their dog, Rosie. I forgot to mention, Rosie is their dog. She is a beautiful little bulldog. Yeah, she ends up eating one of the cookies. Rosie's edgy. Linda, seeing her daughter's in danger, kind of goes into protective mama bear mode and just starts like plowing through these other toys and is about to jack up Jack-in-the-Box, but he ends up escaping through one of the vents. She can't follow him. They send Rosie in after him. I don't think Rosie quite makes it out of this one. I'll go ahead and tell you right now. Very sad, but we don't see her go, so maybe she's all right. Anyway, Jack-in-the-Box, now being very large, crashes through the top of the ceiling, but Aunt Dorothy comes in with the shotty and she starts blasting away the toys. She's about to blast Jack-in-the-Box away, but that's when the dark elves come in. The director said that he imagined that these elves used to work for Santa, but have since joined Krampus and become evil, but they still have kind of like the whimsy that they used to when they worked for Santa. So that's kind of a fun little tidbit. They just yoink Howard and Dorothy on out of there, just straight up kidnap them. There's even a weird little sound effect that kind of doesn't go with the movie, but also kind of does. I don't hate it. And that's when Krampus shows up and he's stomping around on the roof. And Omi's like, y'all go on ahead. I'll stay here and take care of old Krampy. And this is when we get our first good look at Krampus himself. I've heard a lot of people say that they don't like this design. I absolutely love it. So he's this big hulking figure, huge goat horns. He is like a demon, like a goat-like demon, wearing the face of an old man in an eternal scream. You don't actually ever get to see what Krampus's face actually looks like because of this old man face that he's wearing. That I theorize is Santa himself. Because, Krampus exists in this universe, right? Nobody expected that, but he does exist in this universe with all these other weird creatures and monsters and stuff. So who's to say Santa didn't also at some point exist in this universe? The adults just don't believe in him because he's dead. Krampus killed, this is me again theorizing, Krampus killed Saint Nick and is wearing his face and stole his elves or got his elves to join them, at least the ones that were willing to. I imagine he maybe killed the other ones and the ones that joined and turned evil or whatever, and is now doing his own Christmas thing. Again, I just freaking love this design. I love how it kind of leaves up to the imagination what Krampus actually looks like, but you can see like his like goat-looking eyes underneath the old man face that he's wearing, and you can even see another little mouth behind the mouth. It's so nice. It's just so nice. If you don't like the design, I guess I get it, but like, oh my god, it's so good. It's so creepy. And the actor who plays Krampus, Luke Hawker, he's actually only like 5'8", I think. But the costume, he's wearing stilts. He's actually looking at everything through a screen that is in the costume that's being projected to him from a camera that's hidden in one of the moles on the dead old man's face that Krampus is wearing. My god, the practical effects in this movie. And you look at the gingerbread men and you're like, come on, you couldn't have done something better with those guys? Like something better? It just kills me. But also, I love it. I love this movie so much. Anyway, Omi is facing Krampus, and he like opens up his sack of toys, and there's a bunch of evil toys in there, and they take Omi. Bye, Omi. Everybody else is booking it out in the snow, but then the adults are getting taken one by one by the snow monster until it's just Max and Stevie. And then the dark elves come and take Stevie, so it's just Max. And then Krampus leaves Max his own bell, wrapped in his note to Santa, kind of showing like why he was there. But Max ain't done with this yet. He goes following them and finds Krampus and the elves and these sick-ass looking reindeer things having like this huge satanic party. And Max strolls up and he's like, "Hey, asshole!" And they all stop and like look at him. And he's like, "I take back my wish," and throws the bell down. Then just a huge portal to hell opens up. I don't think he was expecting that. And they're about to throw Stevie into hell, and Max is like freaking out. He's like, "No, take me! What are you doing? Take me instead!" He's like crying, getting all emotional, and Krampus actually looks like he might listen to him. But then he starts laughing in his face. Everybody else starts laughing. They throw Stevie into hell, and then they throw Max in right after. And they're all completely done for. Until Max wakes up in his bed. It's Christmas morning. He goes downstairs. Everyone's opening presents, having a great time. I guess it was all just a bad dream, except no! When Max opens up his present, he sees the bell in there as well. And everyone kind of starts remembering. They kind of like look at the camera and it zooms out and you see they're all trapped in this snow globe, which is on a shelf in Krampus's lair with a whole bunch of other snow globes all over the place. And then you get like one last jump scare of all the toys coming out the screen. But I kind of really dig this ending because it leaves it up in the air. It's like, what's going on here? Are they trapped in a snow globe hell? Is this like symbolism for Krampus keeping an eye on them? Like, what's the deal with the snow globe? Apparently, there is a graphic novel that made by the creators of this that kind of goes into a little bit more of like the conclusion of that. I've never read it. I didn't even know it existed until I was doing research for this video, but I would super be willing to check it out. And if you guys are interested making a video about it as well, just let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, I love this movie. I freaking love this movie. I watch it every year and I have such a great fun time with it. It's again, fun, it's hilarious, it's scary, it's just a good holiday season movie, especially if you're into like horror and stuff. I absolutely love it. There's a ton of other Krampus movies out there, but they're not related to this at all. And I love how this movie is just so self-contained, again, aside from the graphic novel that apparently exists. But you know, you don't need a bunch of sequels or a whole franchise based off of it. It's just a good movie. If you guys are aware of any of the other Krampus movies, I might check them out. If you say that they're good or worth checking out or something that you at least want me to make a video about, I'd be happy to look into it. But none of them have really interested me like this one has. And I just absolutely love this one. But what's some of your holiday favorite movies? Like, what's a movie that you watch every year and you don't ever feel like you get tired of? But I guess that about does it for this review / synopsis of Krampus 2015. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I know I'm not getting as many videos out this year as I have been. I became a dad this year, and that's been an incredible experience, but it is a full-time job. And I have a full-time job on top of that. And I have a part-time job on top of that. So, you know, I'll make videos when I can. I you know, if you're keeping up with them and watching them, thank you so much. If you're new to the channel, feel free to check out some of my other stuff. I got animations, I got more movie reviews, book reviews, storytime videos. Like, you know, if I had to recommend one, if you like this video, check out my review of the movie Clown, but also, you know, a couple of the storytime videos might interest you as well. They're a little bit shorter if you just want something to, like, you know, I don't know what that was. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I hope you have a great Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate. I hope you have a great New Year. Again, do all the stuff like the video, comment down below, share the video, and then watch some more videos because the algorithm will be like, oh, this must be good, and it'll push it to more people. But again, thank you guys so much. I won't keep you any longer. Have a great holiday, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
We just naughty boys counting down all the days till Christmas, gonna ruin all the holidays.